All right, guys, we're going to talk for a second about how the defense sets the front, sometimes using the back. And what I mean by the setting the front is right now we're looking at an even front, meaning a 4-2 box. And we're trying to figure out in a 4-2 box where they're going to put the three tech or the guy who's going to be outside shade on the guard and the guy who's going to be inside shade on the guard. Um, Normally, the defense will set this to the strength of the offensive formation, meaning a tight end. But because there's no attached tight end right now, the defense really has two options normally to set their front. They could set their front to the wide side of the field, or they could set their front based on the back. Right now, they're doing it based on the back. What they're doing, the defense is doing is they're putting the three tech, the guy who's outside shade on the guard, away from the back. And that's an intentional decision, as we'll see as the Titans motion back and forth. You see that the Broncos will shift to match. But what the Broncos are saying is there is a base run play that's in the Titans playbook that we want to force them to run to the three tech, right? And some offenses don't like to run inside zone or outside zone or power to a particular side of the front. Meaning, let's say they're trying to run counter or inside zone, and the Broncos feel good about their three tech being to the front side of inside zone, and they know that the Titans want to run their inside zone to the two tech. Just say, for instance, what they'll do is they'll set the three tech opposite the back. So we would call this as an offense, we would call this an over front. Because there is no attached tight end, we would expect the defense to set their front opposite the back. So over means we're putting the three tech towards the tight end. So if there was an attached tight end here, if there's no tight end, then it's away from the back. That's what I would call an over front, right? So they're setting the over based on the back. Now watch, when the back motions to the other side, they flip the defensive front, right? And now you can see now the Titans are stuck out of their play. This went back and forth a little bit over the course of the down. We only see a little bit of this play from the end zone view, right? But they're going to flip when the back flips. Now the defense is going to flip as well. The linebackers obviously flip to match. So now you get the three tech opposite the back, and you get the two tech to the back side, right? So they're setting their over and under front based on the running back. This is a defensive adjustment. A lot of teams, the solution for offenses then is if we have this problem where the defense is going to constantly give us a three technique to the side that we don't want, meaning if we have inside zone called and we don't want to run inside zone towards the three tech. Now, personally, I don't mind running inside zone to the three tech, but just for playing out the scenario, because obviously the Titans had something called that they wanted to have the back on the same side as the three tech for. Let's just say, for instance, it is inside zone, right? Well, then you have to make it a two-play call where if you get a three tech here, right, you call one play. If you get a two tech lined up inside, well, then you can run your inside zone play. So it's a two-play run call where the run is not determined until you see the way the front is set. A simple one would be, okay, let's say you don't want to run out inside zone to the three tech, but you're okay running outside zone. Okay, again, that's not a situation I would want to find myself in. I would do it the other way. However, just looking at it the way it is, perhaps that's the way this the Titans like it right now. They want to run outside zone to the three tech, and they want to try to get the runs. I think they can get a better backside cutoff that way, and they're going to fit in the outside zone rather than the inside zone look, which is a little bit tighter. If it's a three tech, run outside zone. If it's a two tech, run inside zone. Or whatever it is. Maybe you can pair a zone with a gap scheme or whatever your flavor is when it comes to the run game. But good defensive fronts will know how to reset their front based on whatever it is you change in your offense, whether it's motioning the tight end or in this case just flipping the back, which is commonly how a defense would set their front in a 10 personnel situation. Looking at it from the wide here, I think we'll see the running back flipped. So the defense flipped. And now Ryan Tannehill tried to put him back again, thinking the defense wouldn't flip twice. And they just flip again. So the Titans are kind of stuck with the ball in their hands at that point, and they don't have a snap that they want to run. Right. So as I said before earlier, that we see they actually flipped it back a couple of times here. Right. The Titans and Broncos are in a little bit of a cat and mouse game here, and the Broncos obviously won this snap. This is where it would help to have a two-play call where you can run to something to the two tech or something to the three tech based on the way the defense aligns, rather than just having the option to flip the back and flip the play.